Top 5 scary ghost videos caught on camera. Endless stairs. This first video comes from the TikTok page Hockey First. Now the creepy thing about this page is that they recently started live streaming, and on the live stream we see a person going down what appears to be a never-ending staircase, with all the lights flickering on their own. The person can be seen going down the staircase for a long period of time without getting any closer to the bottom, and sometimes things change, and at one point the staircase even swaps to the left side. During one part of the live stream, a man wearing an all-black cloak can be seen just slowly walking down the stairs, as if chasing after the man recording. Some viewers have said it looks like a simulation, but this was dismissed after seeing his body and legs in the footage, as well as a bit of talking. Some people suggested that it could be a loop, but the footage changes and different things happen ever so often, so it's hard to say. But it does resemble the game SCP-087, which is about a creepy dark staircase that seems never-ending. So what do you think is going on here? Is this a real creepy phenomenon? Or is this just some very good looping? Let me know what you think. Haunted school. A brave young man decided to explore an abandoned school located in Mazatlan, Mexico, after hearing various rumors of the place being haunted. Some local residents said that they sometimes see the hallways covered with mist, and strange voices could be heard. They also reported that there was a hidden classroom underground, where kids were kept and mistreated, so this place must have built up some negative energy over time. And after exploring, he captured something that gave him the chills.
Aquí otra vez en los segundos, vamos a ir al segundo L, creo que son como las 2:17 de la mañana. Vamos a ver qué pedo. Se metió un ratero. Según se mueven las bancas. Pero vamos a ver. Son las 2:18, la chingada. No mames. qué verga.
After entering the classroom, he is quickly scared away when one of the seats and tables moved by itself, leaving us to wonder if this is real or a ruse. It would have been nice to see him explore the grounds a little more, but I guess we'll never know. Abandoned asylum. The next video comes from the TikTok user Natalia Valente from Brazil. On April the 3rd, 2021, she decided to explore an abandoned asylum along with some friends and family. The exploration consists of 7 parts, but only one of them contains something creepy that she caught on camera. Take a look.
Parte 3 da ala rosa, que é a pior ala que tem. Gente, quanto barro no chão. Aqui é a lavagem de roupa. A gente tá indo pros outros lados, que é bem escondido da ala rosa. Que é onde o povo ficava, tipo, real presaço. Bom, a gente tá indo agora pro necrotério. Eu tô, tipo... Agora eu tô com medo. Agora eu tô com medo, amiga. Olha isso. Gente, essa parte aqui, por incrível que me pareça, eu achei bem bonita. Eu tiraria uma foto aqui tranquilamente. E aqui é o necrotério. Tipo...
Through the windows inside one of the locked buildings, we can see what looks like some pale ghostly figures, just standing there, staring out at nothing. This seemed to go unnoticed at the time. Could these be the spirits of people who were once a part of the asylum? By the way they stare out at nothing, it makes me think so, assuming this is real. What do you think? Shadow Man. The next video comes from the YouTube channel Zero Fox FK. Zero Fox decided to make a video showcasing the different vision modes of the Xbox Kinect. However, upon doing so, he captures something terrifying. He then goes on to make another video explaining how the aspect ratio changes when he switches vision modes. So it looks like he's cutting scenes and editing things, but he actually isn't.
That's nice, just a quick video to clear something up. I uploaded a video a while ago showing the different vision modes that the Xbox One Connect can do. And a lot of people said it was edited because when I switched the vision modes, I changed position and my t-shirt changes to a completely different one. I've explained loads of times that this is exactly what happens with the Xbox One Connect, and it changes aspect ratio. But I figured I might as well go one better and show you guys live. So let me just switch on the Connect now, and like anyone with an Xbox One Connect can do this themselves and see exactly what I'm talking about. See, I've got another webcam apart from the Xbox Connect to show that it's all legit and stuff. You just go down to this. Anyone with a Connect can do this, and I'm still here. I haven't transported to any different alternate universes. Stuff changes position because it changes aspect ratio. See, that's crazy, isn't it?
As he switches vision mode, a black shadow figure appears in the room, turning its head to the side before quickly vanishing, leaving Zero Fox completely baffled as to what he just saw. So, is this a real shadow figure caught on camera? Or maybe some good old CGI? I'll let you be the judge. If you have any video recommendations, you can send them over at depthsofdespair01@gmail.com. That's not my wife. The next sequence of videos come from the TikTok page Dude My House is Haunted, who has been experiencing some strange and unexplainable things happening within his house over the last 10 years. The activity wasn't so bad, so it was easy to ignore and carry on with his everyday life. Until just recently, the activity has gotten much more intense, so he has decided to set up some cameras around the house to try and capture these events, thinking this is the spirit of his wife who passed away many years ago. He often finds things all over the place, and even sees things moving on their own in the kitchen, just like this.
Well, as you can see, it's morning, guys. This is just a quick update because I gotta get to work. But when I got up this morning to get my coffee, I walked into the kitchen and saw this. So I guess you guys were right that activity seems to be picking up because I have been, doing renovations. I replaced all this stuff, this dishwasher, this stove, the oven hood there. But this morning when I came into the kitchen, I noticed the cabinet was open, and then I noticed this chair. So I checked the Ring video, and it definitely... and the refrigerator's been making a god-awful noise. It used to make another god-awful noise, like the fan bearings were screeching, and it was just such a loud whistle. Sometimes I'd just unplug it. But sometimes I could unplug it and plug it back in and it would stop doing it. But now it's making this, whoa! Okay, see, I didn't even move. I wasn't even moving. That's the first time that's happened since the last time. Okay, it's got to be a bed bearing, but I wasn't moving. Look at that. It's closed, and there's nothing on the edge. There's nothing on the edge that would, like here on this edge, that would push it out. And there's the magnet clip.
A chair in the kitchen can be seen sliding and turning around on its own, until a mist-like figure manifests itself and violently throws the chair across the room. Now, after this, he seriously begun to doubt that this entity could be his long-lost deceased wife. And a few days later, things got even more terrifying. And after this, he was certain that this was not his wife.
Remember I said I didn't know how I'd react if this thing started touching me? It started walking towards me. feel a hand on my back. Sorry. It terrified me. I froze. I don't know if my wife is in there, but his people seem stuck. They were all saying, "Help me."
This is what happened earlier that day.
Hey guys, my hall walker is back. I'm gonna go into the hallway and see if I can hear. It sounds like it's down at the end of the hallway. Right back there. Holy fuck. That felt like somebody's right standing behind me. Holy fuck. That was somebody right behind me. It felt like their face was right here. Like they were really tall. I was frozen. I couldn't move. Oh. What the fuck? That's not my wife. And that's not Miss Potter. That felt like somebody really tall.
After feeling the presence of something evil standing behind him and hearing whispers of tormented souls suffering, he is absolutely sure that this is not his wife. And after catching the attic door slamming shut by itself, he thinks there could be something horrifying living up there, and that perhaps these lost souls were also made to suffer and be trapped in the attic. I think this could very well be the case, but let me know what you guys think. Bonus rocking chair. In this short video, a girl was recording her little brother playing with their dog on just an average ordinary day, when suddenly the boy notices something and points to it. She then pans the camera over, and what they capture is quite chilling. Take a look. As the boy points and she pans the camera over, we can see a rocking chair rocking by itself. But the creepiest thing about it is that a shadow figure looks as if it's sitting on the armrest of the chair before getting up and walking along the wall. No other information was provided, so we are left to wonder, just what did they see here? And is it real, or just a simple ruse? Only you can judge. That's all for today, guys, but if you like this video, subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you never miss an upload. And with that being said, you can follow the original Depths of Despair on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. See you next time, guys.
What if God is actually the devil? What if the very foundations of Christianity was built on a shocking secret that the church doesn't want you to know? Marcion, the man who compiled the world's first Bible, believed that the God worshipped by the church today is actually an evil being that's enslaving humanity, and we'll also discover that Jesus himself reveals that God is the devil in the banned Gospel of Judas. Is this actually true, and has the world been deceived into worshiping an evil being? We're gonna find out right now. First, make sure you like and subscribe, as I'll be releasing more hidden knowledge on my channel that you won't find anywhere else. And if you ever felt like that you've learned something from my work, support on Patreon to get access to weekly secret videos, and you can also support by hitting the join button right below this video. Before we discover the dark truth about God that Jesus reveals in the banned Gospel of Judas, we have to know something about Marcion and the world's first Bible. So who was Marcion? Marcion was a Christian theologian who lived in the 2nd century. He was the son of a bishop and was deeply involved in the early Christian church. But as he studied the scriptures, he began to have doubts about the God he had been taught to worship. Marcion came to believe that the God described in scripture was not the loving, merciful God that Jesus spoke of. Instead, he believed that the creator God was actually an evil deity who sought to keep humanity in bondage. And you can't blame him, because think about it. God is described as drowning the entire world except for Noah and his family, killing the firstborn children of Egypt, and accepting a burnt virgin sacrifice, among a lot of other things. Now, does that sound like a loving God to you? Of course not. That kind of behavior is the exact opposite of what Jesus teaches, like love thy neighbor as thyself. So Marcion concluded that the creator God was actually an evil entity who ruled the world with judgment and violence that kept humanity in a state of submission and slavery. But in contrast, Marcion saw Jesus as a messenger from a completely different God, a higher God who provided an escape from the cruel world created by the evil creator God. And at the end of this video, we will see exactly who that higher God is. Historian Bart D. Ehrman said, according to Marcion, Jesus came from a different God, a previously unknown God, who was not the God of the Old Testament, but a higher spiritual being who intervened on behalf of people to save them from the wrath of the Creator. So who is this higher God exactly? We're going to find out. But think about it. This idea might seem strange to us today, the fact that the Creator God is evil, but that's because the world has been conditioned throughout generations to believe that the Creator God is good. But the idea that the Creator God is evil was actually very compelling in early Christianity. Bart Ehrman said, Marcion had a huge following. In some parts of the Christian world at the end of the 2nd century, there were apparently more Marcionites than other kinds of Christian. In Marcion's view, the world was a battleground between the evil creator God and the higher, loving God. Now, Marcion's followers, known as Marcionites, were pescatarians, and they embraced pacifism, and women held high leadership roles within the community, which was a practice that was very progressive for the time. Now, not only was Marcion's version of Christianity extremely popular, but he actually compiled the world's first canon of the Bible. In an attempt to distance the evil creator God from Jesus and the higher God, Marcion compiled a collection of scriptures which became the first Christian canon. His canon, or Bible, had only 11 books in 2 parts: the Evangelicon, a shorter version of the Gospel of Luke, and the Apostolicon, 10 letters written by Paul the Apostle that were also a bit shorter than the ones that we know today. Now think about it, the world's first Bible was actually created to support the idea that the creator God was evil and that Jesus was from a higher God. Marcionism spread fast and it had a big following. The Marcionites' commitment to pacifism and equality for women was ahead of its time, but as the Marcionite movement gained momentum, it also attracted the attention of the early Christian church. Church leaders like Tertullian and Irenaeus spoke out against Marcion and his teachings, labeling him a heretic. They argued that the ideas that Marcion preached were dangerous and misguided. Saint Polycarp met Marcion at Rome and is said to have called Marcion the firstborn of Satan. Irenaeus, in his work Against Heresies, writes, Marcion declares God to be the author of evils and to take delight in war, but Jesus, being derived from that Father who is above the God that made the world, was manifested in the form of a man. Ultimately, the early Christian church declared Marcionism a heresy, and his followers were persecuted and forced to go underground, while Marcion's works were burned. But the truth is, there were actually many Christian movements and books that declared the creator of the world as evil and said that Jesus came from a higher God. In fact, Jesus says exactly this in the banned Gospel of Judas. Now, this long-lost gospel was discovered in the 1970s, and in the Gospel of Judas, Jesus reveals to Judas that the creator God is indeed evil. Jesus teaches that he himself comes from a true higher God who is the source of all true knowledge, love, and goodness. Jesus said, "Come that I may teach you about secrets no person has ever seen, for there exists a great and boundless realm whose extent no generation of angels has seen, in which there is a great invisible spirit, which no eye of an angel has ever seen, no thought of the heart has ever comprehended, and it was never called by any name." This quote from the Gospel of Judas emphasizes the existence of a higher, hidden God who is far removed from the cruel and vengeful creator God. Now, another striking aspect of the Gospel of Judas is the portrayal of Jesus' disciples as evil and not understanding his teachings. The disciples are frequently depicted as struggling to grasp the profound and hidden truths that Jesus shares with them, and Jesus reveals that he is not from the God that the disciples worship, but from a different God entirely. The Gospel of Judas says, "The disciples said to him, 'Master, why are you laughing at our prayer?' He answered and said to them, 'I'm not laughing at you. You're not doing this because you want to, because through this your God will be praised.' They said, 'Master, you are the Son of our God.' Jesus said to them, 'How do you know me? Truly, I say to you, no generation of the people among you will know me." When his disciples heard this, they started to get angry and furious and started to curse him in their hearts. But when Jesus noticed their ignorance, he said to them, "Why are you letting your anger trouble you? Has your God within you and his stars become angry with your souls?" Now notice that Jesus refers to the God they worship as your God, and implies that they don't know about the God that he really comes from. While the other disciples are struggling to understand what Jesus is saying, Judas is portrayed as having a deeper understanding of Jesus, and this special insight sets Judas apart from the other disciples. Judas said to him, "I know who you are and where you've come from. You've come from the immortal realm of Barbelo, and I'm not worthy to utter the name of the one who sent you." Then Jesus, knowing that he was thinking about what's exalted, said to him, "Come away from the others, and I'll tell you the mysteries of the kingdom." Here that we see that Jesus is implying that he's from another realm and another God entirely, a God completely different from the evil creator God. But the question is, could Marcion, the creator of the first Christian canon and banned books like the Gospel of Judas, be right? Is God actually the devil? The truth is actually much deeper than that, because the truth is that the evil creator God doesn't actually exist, but the idea of it has been used as a means to enslave humanity. The idea of a wrathful and vengeful creator God has been a potent and powerful tool for maintaining control over the masses, and by instilling fear into the hearts of humanity, religious institutions have been able to manipulate and direct the actions of their followers, often for their own gain. And this fear-based control has been used to justify wars, persecutions, and countless atrocities throughout history. The Stoic philosopher Seneca the Younger said, "Religion is regarded by the common people as true, by the wise as false, and by the rulers as useful." Rulers and religious institutions can easily use the idea of an angry and vengeful God to maintain power and control over their followers. If the idea of an evil creator God has been used to enslave humanity, what does this mean for our liberation? Well, by recognizing the manipulation and lies behind these fear-based beliefs and religions, we can begin to break free from the chains of dogma and discover the truth that's already within us. The truth is that we are divine. Who is the higher God? We are that higher God. If you want to know more, check out this video I did on the Gospel of Judas, or this entire playlist that breaks down the Gospel of Judas in detail. Like, subscribe, and comment below.